I just lost my hardcore world after surviving for 1380 days, and now I wanna give you a world tour. So let's start. First of all, here we've got spawn, and like around this area I spawned in. And then I went somewhere here, I saw these turtles, and then I rode away with my boat along here. And because I don't sleep in this world and I never skip the night, I went into this shipwreck and actually fully drained it. If we go in here, first of all, a mob has spawned and it's fully drained, because that's what I did in my first night, so that I had some safe space. Then here later I actually built a moss farm that never properly worked, or the farm did work, but it broke several times, because first of all I didn't have a chunk loader, and this is spawn chunk, so it would have worked if I hadn't gone into the nether all the time. And then I built a chunk loader, but it broke after a few hours, so then the farm broke again. Then this here is on the next side, we are gonna see my actual base, but this is my first nether portal that I made with a rune portal and the lava from there. Then we've got this island behind this here, and it looked totally different at the start. I can show you a picture. And there was a whole village, how you can see with the path here, that's still there. Then later I totally transformed it. So I made another platform so that I could farm wood. I then later made a cocoa bean farm and got the sheep farm and stuff like that. And this is where I always recorded my in-between things when I told you something. Yeah, I'm talking about these things. Then this was my first proper build, my starter base, and it actually looked like this from the start. I also had like a board back here with all my things. Never finished this one. And the interior, here you can see this is kind of useless. Honestly, I think this isn't that good of an interior, but this is pretty good, I think, here with all the stuff I need. Then here I've got my furnaces and my chest area. I think this room looks quite good for a functional purpose. Up here I had my bed, but I then broke it. Wait, I even put it in here. Broke it to get to the spawn point through the end. I do really like the attic, I think it looks quite cozy, but it's not really functional. And then we can go down. Here I've got my nether portal, and it's got a design I really like. Then gotta go into survival for this. I can show you the secret thing. This is the room with enough chests for one stack of every item. I wasn't gonna get a stack, but one of every item. And you can see I got a lot of items. And then here, after I had gotten more than half of the items, it stopped because I died. That was a voice crack. And down here I later connected it to the ground. At the start it was a floating island, as this still was, because I never finished it. It would have been a lot of work. Then also one of the most unimpressive things in this world, just a platform out of slabs, and I used this to get the mob heads, and it was pretty neat. I got quite a lot of mob heads. Wait, I can show you. Here you can see in total 50 mob heads. Not bad, I'd say. And then one of my favorite builds in this world, I would say the second favorite, the pirate ship. I really love the design, and I really love that I didn't plan it in creative before. It's got so much detail. You can see down here even an anchor. It's called anchor. I know now. This in the front, all the sails didn't have that much wool, and so I made them not used. Insanely detailed. They call it a deck, I hope so. The cannons. My favorite room in this thing, with check and a lot of decoration. Spoiler, check is gonna be important for the main movie, which is gonna come out on the 7th. Going in here, there's an area for all the clothes, and a sleeping area, an eating area, cannons, the kitchen with potatoes and a rotten potato, more beds, and another one of these rooms. And up here you can steer. Then the third big area in the old world, and also the last one. Here I once had my second villager breeder. The first one I actually built on the starter island where there was a village, and then I got the villagers here and built one, and I made a tower with 5 villager breeders above each other, and they didn't work properly, and so I had to clear that again and build a third one. I'm gonna show you that soon. Then we've got an iron farm that was also meant to be 3 times as fast as a normal one, but only ever worked normally because there wasn't enough space for 3 zombies. And then we've got a bee farm, which actually did work quite well. 4-layer bee farm, and I've got a lot of honey, how you can see. Then something I nearly forgot about, a concrete converter. Insanely good design, easy to build, love it. And all the tutorials are linked in the description, so you can go there and look at that. Then here is the villager breeder. And this one finally actually did work. Next up, a western house. And I really love that house. I did prefer it to my starter house, although that one's got an interior, because this one is just encasing a farm, a flying machine farm with lots of stuff in it. So there's these nether vines, both of them, bamboo, sugarcane and dripstone. Currently it's turned off because the storage is full with loads of double chests of stuff. Then I've also got a church, the Technoblade church. Really love that build too. This is the front. And it's in honor to Technoblade, and it's my 192 villager breeder, which has got a really nice design, and it's also labeled, so here you can see, or I can see, which villagers are where, and then they are also labeled. So for example, I had loads of glass panes here, and to make money I would go to these guys and just sell my glass panes, and if at the 5th one, for example, I ran out and had to get more glass panes, I didn't have to try and figure out where I was so that I could go to the next one, but I could just see 5 and then go to the 6th one when I came back. And one thing I love about this, we can hear it now. First of all, there spawned a creeper, this wasn't meant to happen. And then I've got a chicken, which, now I'm in the piston. A chicken which randomly sets off this clock. Now the creeper does it too. Oh, clock. It's a bell, it's not a clock. And then the biggest and most insane build here, you also saw it on the thumbnail. The drill. It's over 50,000 blocks, and I also had to remove a lot of blocks, and in it there is a creeper farm. And this was actually not that hard to build, the creeper farm. Took me like a day or so, but the thing out there, I spent so much time on that, designing it and building it, and I was so proud of it in the end. It so paid off. Also this hole took quite a lot of time to make, and now we can see the crater area here, and I terraformed a lot of it. Like this cliff wasn't there before, it went until like here, and I destroyed all of it. Also later when coming back here, I made this house, which before was just a grey blob, into something where the exterior at least looked good. Then we've got pathways here, a long pathway going somewhere. Also I had to make this custom, as you can see. I didn't bother to make the colors the same. And then a design I also really liked is the garden here. We've got a little swing and sand play thing. I just forgot the name, I'm such an idiot. Anyway, a sand play thing and some custom made trees. Because the idea was that these people weren't really liked by the western village people, and so they had to make their own things down here. Because they wouldn't be accepted as they were part of the big corporation that built a big hole without permission. And then we also have one more thing, because I needed a lot of stone. Here we've got a stone mining area. And flying here you can see I mined quite a lot of stone. We're gonna get to statistics later. Next up there's this big desert, and you can't see it from far, but this is all sandstone. I also did mine quite a lot of sand for TNT and stuff. And even more for concrete probably, because you saw that drill. Yeah, like 30,000 of these 50,000 blocks were concrete. So, mined quite a lot of sand here. Also, killed quite a few withers in this area. Now I'm in another area, and here you can see I've got loads of chests, and there's a big hole of chests where there were more, but I broke them to craft a lot of gold, because this is an overworld gold farm, or this overworld side of a gold farm. Because there's loads of portals on the other side, not really complicated. You just go in here and slay by hitting this armor stand with an auto clicker. I AFK'd here for 23 hours or 69 days. And yeah, gonna show you the other side when we get to the nether. Now here, just as a quick thing, we've got a slime farm that never worked properly. At least at the point where I was AFKing, which is here because of all of these caves. It was still better than Mambo's farm, so I'd consider that a win. Then I've got an area where I mined a lot of ancient debris, or I exploded it out of the ground, and you can see I can fly quite a while here, because I did need, oh here it's out, because I did after all need a shulker box of every sort of netherite tool and armor. So exploded like 10,000 TNT or something crazy. Now let's get back to where this portal gets me. And you have of course already seen the lower side of the nether, but this is the upper side, and here we can see my iron farm. Don't actually know if it's very filled. Yeah, there's a little bit of iron, but not a lot. As I said, never was that great of a farm. The gunpowder farm, and also that unfortunately never was that great either because I built it too high up, but it always met my needs, so not a big problem. Then my first gold farm, which was such a bad farm that it didn't even pay off to build, because I later tried out just going into a mesa cave and mining gold there with fortune, and it was just twice as fast. So small, inefficient gold farms aren't worth it. And here we've got a big gold farm, and it just looks impressive. But it actually didn't take that long to build, like a day, about a day to build. So that's the nether. Now let's go to the end. And for that we can go here to the lower nether. You can see I spawn-proofed my nether portals, the normal ones I used to move. So this is the mesa area, and this is my starter island house thing. And if we go back here, we will find the end. Here it is, down there you can see the portal. That was the one that wasn't spawn-proof. Going in, this was once a chunk loader for my obsidian farm. And I also cleared out a lot of space for that same farm. Then we can go in. And I didn't really build any big stuff in the end, but there is this. I cleared up the whole farm except the storage system because there was a lot of obsidian here. I only needed a third of it or so to build the gold farm. Farm went until this glass part, and then this path was there before to run across, then around this pillar. And once I nearly died here, so I fell down, and then I patched that up so that I couldn't fall down that easily, and made a way up here. And now I can show you the Enderman farm, and I'm gonna do that in survival because I designed it to be safe. So I can go down here, no chance of falling out or anything. And then I've got tons of boats, and I can just go along here because I lost one of my worlds because of falling off an Enderman farm, and with this one that can't happen. But yeah, I had all of the things I needed here. It's not very spectacular. I can show you in spectator. Just a normal farm, looked pretty ugly. I didn't have anything else other than jungle logs. I mean, I could have used netherite, but I didn't. And now let's go to the place where I died. And now here I am in the ancient city. You can see all of the wool I placed, and that there are loads of things where I encased shriekers. I think I actually got most of them in the end, but then I flew back to my starting location, and I was here, and then I got killed. You can see it in the clip linked in the description. I made a shorts and a TikTok about it. By the way, follow me on TikTok. I would have made How Did We Get Here? Anyway, lost this world now. There's gonna be a great movie about it on the 7th. And then about 2 weeks later, I'm gonna start a new secret project that I'm really hyped for. So now, thanks for watching, and like the video if you liked it.